a lot of like historically famous people, and actually they get acted out too. Like Ian King Goldberg in it. Roberts Robert Rogers is in it. He's the guy that the Army Rangers are based off of because he led the Queen's Rangers during a couple of wars. Oh God, what's his name? French officer de Lafayette. I forget his first name. He's very important too during the war with Washington. Washington's in it. It's a really good show. I did not see any actor that I recognized or actress. But
Actor is actually now an all-inclusive term.
Okay, yeah.
Because you can do it with an E. It's actor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know any actors that I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah, you were telling me about that.
If you were interested in,
because I was very
history.
confused.
Yeah.
I was very confused because when we were talking on the phone the other day, I guess you were watching it.
Yeah.
I don't guess. I know you were watching it. And you said, what did you say?
Something about Cornwallis, probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What city? Jamestown?
No, Yorktown.
Yorktown. And I thought you said, I'm about to go fight Cornwallis at Yorktown.
Mm.
Or that's what I heard, and I was like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
I have so many reasons you are not about to do that.
Yeah.
One, you're in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Two, Cornwallis has been dead a very long time.
Yeah.
This isn't happening. You're not fighting Cornwallis.
Yeah. There's a lot of like romance stories in there too. Like the most interesting one is actually one by a British officer, which is pretty interesting. Him and a royalist lady. Oh fuck, Benedict Arnold's
There
in
it
there.
goes, right there. There's the picture rating just right out the door.
Benedict Arnold's in there. It makes you question if he had a right to, betray Congress or not. There's a lot of cool stuff in that show.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So right now you're siding on the side of the infidel.
No.
You're questioning whether or not you're siding on the side of the infidel.
No. No. Even by the end of the war, it gets you to question some stuff because by the end of the war, the British were shipping out all of the blacks that were on the British side of the colonies and the British colonies because they were free because Britain was the first country in the world to abolish. I think it was the first country in the world, if not in the Western world, but I actually think it is the first country ever to have abolished slavery. So slavery wasn't allowed under them. So all black people were free under them. So they were shipping out all the blacks to make sure that they weren't put back under slavery, as was and did happen historically when they did leave. Makes you question if it was okay being under a monarchy since they made sure that the blacks were free. A lot of interesting stuff in the show.
I'm certain that lots of monarchies did not do that, though.
Do what?
Free the slaves.
Oh no, but the one we had did though.
Oh no.
Yeah, but it's really interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And what was the name of that show again? I know you told me the other day. And that's Turn. That's right.
And then it's Washington's Spies.
Turn.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's highly rated or not. I guess that's easy to look up.
What was it on?
Netflix.
Is it? Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool.
I don't know. I assume it's highly rated because I liked it.
That means absolutely nothing.
It's highly rated by me.
Right, and that is what truly matters in that scenario. I assume it's highly rated because I like it. What? All right. But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, sorry for all of you who didn't hear us at the beginning. If you're watching us live on Facebook, basically, Avengers was good. Watch the show Letterkenny, and we don't condone illegal downloads. But
yeah,
if you can't find it, go find it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
speaking of Britain.
Oh, you want to start there?
Isn't that the first thing?
The The good news was the first thing.
Oh. Yeah, sure.
Let's start with the good news. So, this week, and because normally on this show, all we do is talk about bad news. We never report anything good. Mm-hmm. It's weird. But this week, we actually get to report something good, which is just fantastic. It actually makes me feel good to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But in a very historic event, the Korean War has finally come to an end after 65 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it will be ending, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Like it is. I mean, we can say it's over. I guess.
Right. So the DMZ
yeah.
is now known as the Peace Zone.
Yeah.
So, which demilitarized zone, peace zone. You know, it's different. But yeah, Kim Jong-un, very famous for his portrayal in Team America: World Police.
Mm-hmm.
He was fantastic in that movie.
No, that's his dad.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Bill.
He was in the interview.
Yeah, the interview, yes.
He was in the interview.
Yeah.
My apologies. But
they look the same.
I'm very much so racist.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un and Moon Jae-in met this week and agreed to end the war by year's end. Mm-hmm. Which is just, I mean, that is huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huge news.
Yeah. Thank you, Trump.
Right. Thank you so much, President Trump.
I waited this. I wanted to say that.
Yeah, and I've seen people going out and they're saying Trump had nothing to do with this. You know, it was Kim Jong-un and Moon Jae-in. And yes, mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
But also no.
Mm-hmm.
Because according to the armistice that was signed at the end of the Korean War, that didn't end the Korean War, but just put that thing on hiatus, like what happened with Community so long ago.
Yeah.
America and other countries have to be involved in this because South Korea wasn't a direct signatory on the armistice. So America needs to approve it.
Yeah.
So Trump giving his blessing here is, well, one of the reasons it's happening. So,
oh, yeah.
Yes, 100% thank you, President Trump, for allowing this war to finally come to an end. Mm-hmm. And now, hopefully, there will be peace throughout Korea.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully. But that does raise the question, has Trump done more for world peace than Barack Obama?
I'd say so.
I would actually think so. I mean, when
what war did fucking Obama end?
Right. I was gonna say, like, I remember when Obama won that or won the Nobel Peace Prize.
That's because that's before he I think bombed anybody new.
He got it like 6 months into his presidency, right?
That's before he bombed anybody new.
Right. And it was just kind of like, why did he get that? He hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
All he's done is not do anything.
Just be black. What?
All he's done is not do anything to perpetuate more wars, which, after getting the Nobel Peace Prize, as we all know...
Yeah, he went to more wars.
He went to more wars. Or he extended wars, mm-hmm. or whatever. But yeah. So, I know that people have already put Trump's name in for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Good.
Seriously, I never thought I'd live in a world where...
Because Obama didn't even end Iraq, he didn't end Iraq. That was Bush. He didn't end Afghanistan because we're still there. So yeah, no. Obama did nothing for peace other than talk about peace. He still bombed.
Right.
And drone bombed, especially a lot of people and kids and Muslims and brown people.
Yes.
So yeah,
No.
Hopefully that means we can leave Korea though, but we'll see what that means.
Right. I mean, I don't think we're gonna leave Korea. It's too big of a stronghold for us.
Yeah.
Not that I agree with that, but I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah.
having that base in South Korea, very important. But I do want to bring up, I believe it was episode 36 as I was going through the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
We had a section on Korea in which I wrote, I don't want to talk about this. Nothing's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to point out, I was right, and I'm very happy about that. Because nothing happened except for peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is one of those few cases where brinksmanship
Mm-hmm.
actually turned out to be okay.
Yeah, apparently Pompeo has been doing a lot of work on that too, on the piece.
Really?
That's apparently why Rand Paul may have voted to allow it or something.
Interesting.
I saw that in passing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things I found interesting about the entire thing is they were saying that North Korea is going to halt their nuclear buildup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
Right. Did you also see that an earthquake took out their nuclear facilities?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
So are they halting it because they want peace, or are they halting it because they're like, oh crap, it's going to take us so long to rebuild all this?
Yeah. But was that confirmed? Like, is that actually what happened?
The earthquake?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was confirmed. I read it on Drudge Report.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I don't remember the source that they got it from, but I read it on Drudge Report.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure if it's confirmed or not, but I'm willing to lean in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And I saw our good friend Justin Coates post the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm running with it.
Yeah. Wow. Well, good thing nonetheless.
But yeah, no matter what, there's peace in Korea, and that is all that truly matters.
Yeah. Maybe you should think about getting rid of the whole communism thing too, while he's at it.
Yeah, good luck.
The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia has been very surprising, so you might want to think about leaving some awesome legacy on his way out. Well, while he's still young, he's gonna be there.
I was gonna say
dies.
he's like 22.
Yeah. He's gonna be there till he dies. So.
And if he's not 22, he looks 22.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And the Crown Prince of Saudi, he's young and he's not even the king yet. And women can drive; they can go to certain public areas now, and he's making it even. He's freeing the hell out of Saudi Arabia, socially, which is really good.
Yeah.
He should think about doing the same thing with communism over there. Because something bad would happen otherwise, I think, if they start worrying about people leaving North Korea, and they don't want them to leave, that could make things worse again. Hand over our North Korean citizens, or we get a war with you, or whatever, sort of thing. So I don't know. We'll see.
We will see.
Yeah.
We will see.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Britain.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Britain.
Awful news today.
Yeah.
Terrible news. Alfie Evans passed away this morning.
Mm-hmm.
2:30 a.m. Britain time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that equates to here, because time zones aren't my forte.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. But yeah, Alfie Evans passed away this morning, and Tom Evans and Kate James, his parents, who have been fighting for so long to try to extend his life, to try to get him to Italy, to wherever, in order to get him the treatment that may work, just to extend his life a little bit, posted on their Facebook, "My gladiator laid down his shield and gained his wings at 2:30. Absolutely heartbroken. I love you, my guy."
Yeah.
That is one of the saddest Facebook statuses I have ever heard.
Yeah.
Absolutely awful.
Yeah. Well, Charlie was on last year, right?
Charlie Gard, yes.
Yeah.
Charlie Gard. So many parallels can be drawn between these two children, and both of them had diseases that were
The brain,
degenerative. Yeah, both of them were degenerative brain diseases. Both of them, the Pope offered to help and say, "Why don't you come to?" Man, I hope I get this right. Why don't you come to the Bambino Gesù Hospital in Vatican City? I know I messed up that loud. Gesù. I don't know how to speak Italian, and I apologize. But he said, "Come here." Also, with Charlie Gard, they got the GoFundMe. I think is what it was. GoFundMe to bring him to America, and they raised enough money. And then,
Charlie was here, right? Well, that's what they were trying to do.
They were trying. Well, the Pope also said bring him to Italy.
Yeah.
But then they also said, hey, we may be able to find a cure here in America. But yeah, so the Pope offered to help out, and in both cases, the hospital, one in London, one in Liverpool, not Liverpool, but nobody knows where that city is, so it's Liverpool.
Yeah.
One in London, one in Liverpool. Both said no, because transporting him would be cruel and unusual punishment, and because of that, you can't take him. To which the parents were like, well, no, we're his parents, and we want to give him the best possible options for a life.
Yeah.
And they said no. And they took it to the courts, and the courts sided with the doctors, and in both of these cases, the doctors won, and the children are no longer with us.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is absolutely awful.
Yeah.
So,
when the government pays for your health care, they get to decide on it.
Right.
You know?
Well, nobody wants to see anybody die.
Yeah.
Right. It's just not something that. It's not something that we are working for.
Yeah.
But it just upsets me.
Yeah.
That people who fight so hard against the death penalty, and I'm not saying I'm pro-death penalty, but people who fight so hard against the death penalty, under the argument that the government should not be able to make the decision on who lives and who dies, are making these decisions for people who have done absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah.
For straight innocence.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the same pro-choicers that would have sworn up till the moment of his birth that the mother should have the right to terminate his, the pregnancy as a choice would be okay. And now that the mother wants to keep, her child alive, she's not allowed to because it's not her choice anymore for whatever reason. Yeah.
For whatever. And what gets me the most, okay, so in the case of Alfie, I'm not 100% on Charlie, so I'm not going to go out and say one way or the other on this. But in the case of Alfie, Italy gave him an emergency Italian citizenship. So that way they could just be like, look, he's an Italian citizen, we want to treat him, ship him down here.
Yeah.
And they still said no. Britain was like, no, you can't do that. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? You're not paying for it at this point. It's not going to be under the Britain system. Now you are just saying, no, our healthcare system's better than all other healthcare systems, which it's not. Which it absolutely is not better.
Well, that's why they don't want him to go.
You think?
Yeah, they don't want people to see that healthcare is better outside of there. Because what would happen if he leaves and gets treated?
And it gets better.
Yeah.
I mean,
and what do you say now to the National Health System or whatever it's called?
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
The NHS.
Yeah.
The National Health System. But it's anytime anybody starts arguing for the universal health care here in America, and I believe it was Sarah Palin talking about the death panels.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah. So Sarah Palin was talking about the death panels, and everybody was like, oh, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a thing. That's what this is.
Well, yeah, you have to.
That's what this is. All this was a judge, or a series of them, that sided with the doctors. Those judges were the death panels.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No, you have to do that. When you have universal health care, you can't. It's obvious even to the socialists. You can't give all the health care to everybody. It has to be rationed to some extent because you can't give it to everybody. And that's what you have to do. You have to decide who gets to basically get the health care and who doesn't, as the government, not the money and not the doctors. Well, not the money really is what it is. Not the money or the family. It's the doctors and the government that they work for. But yeah, they have to do that. I mean, I don't know why people would think it wouldn't work any other way. How it is.
Right. But yeah, it's an awful and terrible situation. And if we weren't sitting in this room with a lot of electronics, I would say let's do a manwaya.
Yeah.
For Alfie. But we're sitting in this room, so we're going to let's do a makeshift manwaya for him. And with the exception of the pouring out of the kava onto the ground or electronics.
Yeah.
But yeah. Alfie, you should have been given a better chance. But yeah, here's to Alfie. Shells up. Bula. I feel as though anytime we're going to do a manwaya, we should probably just put a bucket next to us.
Yeah.
So we have somewhere to pour it out. And then we can use it later. But like Charlie Gard was the first one that really hit national media. Alfie, the second one. But they weren't the first.
No, of course not. Yeah.
There were two more about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was reading an article on Vox because I hate myself.
Yeah.
And they were saying, why are these children more important than those children?
They're not.
They're not.
Yeah.
No, not even a little bit. They are of equal import.
Thanks for telling us that they even existed.
Right, I appreciate it.
Some of us didn't even know.
Right, I appreciate it. And they were like, it's up to speculation on why these children grew such national popularity. And I went, no, there's social media, the internet, 2008 was not, the internet was not the same as it is today. Going viral wasn't...
Yeah, that wasn't a thing.
I mean, I'm certain it was, but it wasn't as big of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Star Wars Kid was viral before 2008, but I'm not even 100% sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of things like GoFundMe and because of the social media, that made it possible for these to gain national attention.
Yeah.
And that doesn't excuse what happened to the two children back 10 years ago.
No.
Not even a little bit.
Well, no, it doesn't excuse other people for not making a big deal about them if they don't know that they're a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But no matter what, it's a travesty any time that this happens.
Yeah, and then they had the police lined up outside the hospital to stop people from leaving and entering or leaving to try to get the kid out of there, I guess, or something.
Yep.
And then I saw that the city that he's in, I think...
It starts with an M.
It's May something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they... when people were... they're watching people's posts about the Alfie Evans case, and they would deal with them like as in throw them in jail or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is something that happens in Britain when you don't have the right to shoot the fucking cop that's trying to throw you in prison because you made a fucking Twitter post.
Right. Or if you taught your dog to do a Nazi salute.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dankula. But yes, it was absolutely awful thing, and that is what happens when you get universal health care.
Yeah.
That is what happens, and I've been loving watching the pro-universal healthcare people trying to spin this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's odd because every argument that I've seen that's pro-universal healthcare while arguing this is about money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to them, I always want to go, that doesn't sound like caring and compassion that you always say universal healthcare is.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know how much money it costs to keep him on his ventilator? Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I don't. But I know it's a lot.
Yeah.
I have no clue. But I know it's a lot.
Yeah, it takes money to use resources.
Holy
shit, yes.
Right.
Smart. Good job.
Right. Congratulations, you're now learning economics. But why would you want this as opposed to privatizing this?
Yeah, or people were willing to pay for it, and that's what was going to make them look bad, is that people were willing to pay for it with their own money.
Yes.
I was going to say something, I forgot.
Yeah. Anyway, very sad news out of England today.
Mm-hmm.
Alfie Evans, you will be missed by the world, and hopefully you are happier.
Yeah, yeah.
And in better condition,
mm-hmm.
wherever you are. And man, his parents, I feel bad for him.
Of course.
I feel bad for him. I feel bad for Charlie Gard's parents. I feel bad for his parents. They are working. I will give them. Charlie Gard's parents are working on their lobbying. I guess I don't know if that's how it works over there. They're lobbying for a law called Charlie's Law.
Yeah. And
Charlie's Law will give complete parental rights. And the government, like, if they're like, hey, we want to take them to America or whatever.
As it should be.
As it should be. I don't feel they should need a law for that, but
yeah.
It's England. So, hopefully that law gets passed, and I'm pretty certain that Tom Evans and Kate James are probably going to jump on board with that one as well. But yeah, anyway. I don't like giving that bad of news. Like I understand that when we bomb Syria or drone strike somewhere that looks like you, the innocents die.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I know that. It's terrible news.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely terrible news. But these ones hit harder.
Mm-hmm.
And not just because he's white.
No. No, it's because there's a...
I just knew somebody would accuse me of that because...
No. Because there's a name and a face to it.
Right.
And the family.
Yes.
That's all it is.
It's because you get to see everything.
Yeah. It happens with other families around the world if you know the name and you see what's going on with them. Yeah, I think it hits other people just as hard as well.
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie, I think... that's part of her inspiration. I think it's Angelina Jolie who has adopted children from Africa.
Yeah, like 14.
Yeah, she's her going out there and seeing it with her own eyes is what has inspired her to do so. And it's the same thing with us, when it comes to Alfie. That just happens to be the thing. We got to see it and we feel it a lot more. And what's his name? That young one in Yemen that was drone bombed, that hit pretty hard too.
Oh, yeah.
See, because there's a name to it.
Yes.
The American citizen guy that was drone bombed was by Obama.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah. So no, I think it's really the name and the face being on there is what does it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Anyway,
What's next on the menu?
so we just have a bunch of we got a potpourri of stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna let you. I'm just gonna say the 4 topics, and you just pick one.
Oh well, we can do Finland because that's still more so. No, it's not so. That's still more stuff about welfare.
Okay, let's do Finland.
Yeah, Finland. Finland had a 2-year experiment where they were paying 2,000 people 560 euros to people, regardless of whether they worked or not.
Yes, they were testing out the UBI.
Yeah,
the Universal Basic Income. For those of you who don't know.
Yeah,
I'm pretty certain our listeners know. Our listeners are pretty high intelligence.
Yeah.
Minus John Sterner.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was the first one. This was the first experiment in the developed world, I guess, especially in the Western world. And there's an article in the National Review about it that I thought was, this one line was really funny because it says...
You can find it on our Facebook page, correct?
Probably.
I think you posted it.
The Finnish trial was the first basic income experiment in a developed country. Though nonprofits have been trying out direct cash aid in developing countries as a market-friendly approach to charity, which really cracked me up because, like, what they're saying there is the government they're trying to approach the UBI. Well, it wasn't truly universal. It just went to 2,000 people because universal should have been to everybody apparently. Because some people think they didn't go
far
enough, you know. But they were running out of money for it. But they're trying to basically do what nonprofits do with direct cash, which works. But there's a difference between a nonprofit having to show to its donors that the money is going somewhere and helping people with their money. You know, that they're not forcing out of people. They have to show that it's helping out, and so they give it probably. Not everyone's getting the cash money in Africa, for example, in these poor African countries. It's probably families and workers that prove that they are worth getting that money and worth the help or whatever. But with a cash handout like that, in anywhere really, whether it's the Western world or developed world or non-developed world, giving out money just because you're taxing it out of people, you know, just giving out the money like that is not the same as how a charity does it. Like, charity has to make sure it has to show that it's doing something. Government doesn't have to, it just has to show that people are getting the money. You know, it has to show that the program's getting larger. Like,
right.
Oh, we have where there's more poor people, you know, getting money from us now. That's how awesome we are. That's what they have to do. Not like how charity does it, where they have to kind of show that the money's going to someone that deserves it, and they're showing that they're lifting people out of poverty. So,
yeah, according to the BBC, I was reading just now. They were saying that they weren't able to show that these people were being lifted out of poverty, or that they even had any sort of hope on it whatsoever. Instead, they were having just more issues, and it was just costing them money. So I
don't think it'll ever take off again.
I don't think so either. I don't think that it is a wise move to go with. I'm not a fan of welfares and entitlements.
No.
So, when they were going to start this experiment, I was like, that's not going to work. And now it's proven that it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't try real universal basic income.
Yeah.
Maybe if they tried real universal basic income.
Mm-hmm. What else do we got?
We've got Bernie wanting to try universal basic income.
Oh.
I mean,
is that what it was, or was it the jobs program?
It was the jobs program.
Yeah.
It was a jobs program, but I mean, it's a jobs program in which if you're unemployed, you're going to get a job from the federal government paying you $15 an hour for 40 hours a week. So if you get fired from your federal job, you're then out of a job, so then you would just get another job. So isn't that just a universal basic income?
I guess, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was listening to somebody, I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about communist Russia.
Yeah.
They were talking about communist Russia, and he was saying that in communist Russia, you don't find jobs, jobs find you.
Uh-huh.
But what they would do is they guaranteed everybody a job. And
yeah,
they guaranteed everybody a job. And some of these jobs were hotel floor monitor.
What's that?
You would sit on the floor of a, not on the floor, but you would be on a floor of a hotel, and you would just sit there and make sure nothing bad's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's much like the hall monitors back in school. But yeah, you would get paid for that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'd take that job.
Oh, yeah, it's easy.
It's easy. But yeah, that is what will happen with Bernie's plan. Bernie's very expensive plan, which I don't have the numbers here in front of me because I wasn't sure if we were going to get to it. But I believe that it's 18 trillion.
Yeah.
I believe. Which is just outlandish to even think about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole government jobs thing. Like, what are you going to make them do? The whole floor monitor thing or whatever, or Department of Ditch Diggers and Ditch Fillers. You're going to have to find random jobs to, like, give people just so you can pay them or whatever, when that's not how or why jobs exist.
No.
Jobs exist because you're providing value to somebody that's paying you money, like Elon Musk paying you because you worked on the Falcon Heavy or whatever. That's why you have a job, not because the government takes my money to pay you so you can do the most random thing ever. It doesn't add value to the economy, know. That's what a job is. You're supposed to provide value to an economy. You should be able to show where the value is, and people pay people to do things. That's like the economist Walter Williams. It's an example of his. Is money is proof that you've served your fellow man. So when you go to buy some meat, basically the butcher's asking you to prove that you've served your fellow man, and to prove that you did, you give him a note with $20 that proves that you cut someone's lawn, and that means you've served your fellow man somehow, and then now he's gonna serve you by giving you the meat or whatever.
Right.
But when it comes to government jobs, whatever the government tells you to do, it's not valuable to anybody, or else the market would be providing that thing anyways, without the government doing it. If they're allowed to, that's the other big thing too, because a lot of times they're not allowed to, like, what was it, I don't know, driver's licenses, some training people to, like, keep driver licenses a thing, but let the market train people and give out the licenses. No one's allowed to do that except the government, but people would use that as an example of, well, we need driver's licenses, but you're not allowed to do that. You can't open a company to do that. So you'd have to be allowed to do it, is what I'm trying to say. I just went on a huge economics rant, my bad.
Why can't you open a company?
To do driver's licenses?
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you meant teach people to drive.
Oh, no, you can do that.
I was going to say, because you can 100% do that.
Yeah, I meant like an all-encompassing
Gotcha. Okay.
thing, you know?
Yep, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
All right. Just wanted to make sure. I was like, yes, you can.
Yeah.
There are definitely companies out there that'll teach you to drive.
Yeah.
I just missed something in your translation.
No, it's all good, yeah.
So I wrote something down here, so you get to pick our last topic.
Kanye.
Kanye?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dragon Energy.
Dragon Energy. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Black Guy either way. So Kanye West ends his 6 months of silence after having a mental breakdown at a concert, which everybody was like, oh, well.
Was that really 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He had his little mental breakdown at a concert, and he said he was going to go in for treatment for stress, and then he came out a Donald Trump fan.
Yeah.
And his Twitter has been the greatest thing on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
It has been so much fun to read. He and President Trump are tweeting each other, which you have two of the most irrational people in the world tweeting at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome. But they're just giving each other props. So, I mean, it's just like, you've got two megalomaniacs.
It's like, good job, man.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah, you my homie. But yeah, he came out and he started talking about how he likes Trump, and now he's wearing his Make America Great Again hat. Mm-hmm. He's wearing his Make America Great Again hat in the studio whilst recording his newest album.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, buddy.
Yeah.
You're definitely you're going for it.
Yeah.
You are going for it.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I used to really hate him, obviously because of Big Taylor Swift guy. But now I really like him. Especially because, yes, as bad of a reason as it is, especially because it's making liberals mad.
That's really the only reason. It's just annoying people.
Especially the way some of these people are acting like you can't be black and have and like Donald Trump, and even he's had to talk about it, and even Kim Kardashian backed him up about it, which was really surprised she did so, but proud of her for doing so, supporting him on it. That's good. You know?
My favorite tweet to come out of this entire thing comes from Talcum X.
Yeah. Hold on. I don't know if that's real or not.
You don't know if that's real or not?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know if that's real or not. I just shared it. Because it does sound like something he would say.
It does sound like something
I looked for it, but I couldn't find it.
Gotcha. Well, that's really sad.
Yeah.
Well, at least I got to say Talcum X.
Yes, yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know, that's Sean King.
Yeah.
Who claims to be a black man. Even though I don't think he is. Because his uncle said both of his parents are white.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's just me. But yes, the whole Kanye thing has been really interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've really enjoyed out of it is, like his friends are texting him saying, "What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You need to not do that."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I'm going to do this."
And John Legend.
I was getting ready to talk about that because what John Legend did was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
John Legend hits him, and he's like, "Think about what this is going to do to your legacy, man," and blah blah blah. And Kanye answers back, "You're just trying to use fear to make me not want to believe what I believe."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Respectable answer.
Yeah.
I agree with it, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
And then John Legend says, "But since I know that you're screenshotting these and sending them out to and putting them up on Twitter, I have a new single out available for purchase online." And I was like, "Way to go, John Legend!"
Yeah. That's funny.
That was hilarious. And then Kanye was just like, Kanye did like laughing, crying faces.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that I just referred to it as that. But he did laughing, crying faces, and he was like, "I love you, John." And then in his next tweet, like after he posted that, in his next tweet, he goes, Everybody go buy John Legend's new single.
Yeah.
Like, respectable.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I can get behind all of that. But yes, Kanye, he has been way out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been enjoying the crap out of it.
Yeah.
It's been so much fun to watch.
Yeah, and Trump got 10% of the black vote compared to Romney at 7%.
Yep.
And actually, I think most Republicans at 7% or 8%. But yeah, Trump's got a lot more black votes, especially and with Diamond Silk and Jesse Lee Peterson, this guy that I follow, and Kanye West now. I think a lot of the more conservative black voices are going to speak up a lot more, and a lot of the...
You forgot the greatest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens, yeah. Yeah, because he tweeted about her too. He said he
Yes.
likes the way she thinks.
Did you see that our good friend, Eric July, got into a Twitter war with Tom Arnold?
Who's Tom Arnold?
Roseanne's ex-husband?
No, I did not know.
Yeah. Candace Owens and Eric July got called out by Tom Arnold on Twitter, and they got into this huge Twitter war. And Squiggly Line Guy, Squigs, as we call him, I don't know if anybody else is. Squigs got involved, and Tom Arnold called Squiggly Line Guy a moron. And I was just like, wow, this is like, that was last Sunday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most surreal Sunday on Twitter I've ever had. I was sitting there watching a baseball game, and I was like just looking at Twitter. I can't believe this is happening. Squiggly Line Guy is fighting the guy who starred in The Stupids. He's the guy who attempted to rape Edward Furlong in a movie. And he just called a guy that I talk to on a semi-regular basis a moron.
Yeah. That's funny.
I was like, wow, this is absolutely incredible. Squiggly Line Guy, so Tom Arnold said that Eric July was online panhandling because of his Patreon.
Who was panhandling?
Eric July.
How's he panhandling?
Because he goes onto his vlog or whatever, and he's like, yeah, if y'all want to donate, Patreon.
Everybody should panhandle their Patreon.
But no,
or else how are you gonna get money on them?
Yeah, no, again.
Yeah.
But Eric does supply a service.
Yeah.
And Squiggly Line Guy says, "Yeah, I know. It's rough for all of us who aren't living off of that Roseanne money."
Yeah.
And that's what I'm pretty certain prompted the "you're a moron" from Tom Arnold to Squiggly Line Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, Twitter was so good last weekend.
Yeah.
I don't even spend a lot of time on Twitter, but I saw that starting to kick off, and I was like, well, let me plug my phone in, and I'm going on Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to do today. And it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about the other thing? It'd be brief.
I don't know much about it, so you can, if you want to finish off with that, that's fine.
So America's Dad, famous for playing a gynecologist on the Cosby Show. You probably know where I'm going with this. Yeah. Famous for playing a gynecologist on the Cosby Show, was convicted of 3 counts of sexual assault this week from cases from I think these cases were actually from the mid-2000s, where he was roofing women and having sex with their unconscious bodies.
Yeah, that did catch me by surprise because I thought he had already been convicted.
No, the first trial, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that was a mistrial.
Okay.
And this was the retrial.
Yeah.
So I honestly figured when the mistrial happened, I remember when the last trial ended, which I'm pretty certain was a mistrial, But I thought at the time that was it. It was going to be over. But then they reopened the trial. And now Dr. Huxtable is going to jail for 30 years.
Oh, is that his name?
In the Cosby Show? Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah. He's Dr. Huxtable.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, all the memes have been great about the pudding pops and
Yeah.
where they're going to be pudding pops while he's in there. But this comes as a huge blow because one of the members from NWA, Ice Cube, now does family-friendly movies while America's dad, Bill Cosby, is going to jail for raping women.
Yeah.
No, but like this timeline, nobody could have seen coming.
Yeah.
There's no way this timeline could have been predicted. Absolutely unbelievable. Hannibal Buress was the one who really brought out, oddly enough, fucking Hannibal Buress is brought attention to it. Because after Bill Cosby gave a speech in 2004, called the Pound Cake Speech, is what they call it, where he was saying that Black Americans need to take responsibility, stop blaming everything on race. If you get shot by the police while you have the thing in your hand, it's not the police's fault. Something along those lines. Hannibal Buress said, "Man, you out there telling us to pull our pants up," which he also said in that speech, out there telling us to pull our pants up and act right, but man, you rape women.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then people started looking into it.
Yeah.
So the dude that hangs out with, I forget that guy's name, Eric something.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy guy that's on Adult Swim. The guy that hangs out with him.
Yeah.
Is part of the reason that the Bill Cosby thing all blew up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. All of it just added. This timeline is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for Thanos to just give me a snap of the finger and let's change everything up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just such a crazy time to be alive with what is going on in the news.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Donald Trump helping negotiate for peace in Korea.
Yeah.
You've got people who are constantly talking about love and compassion, ruling on the side of allowing children to die.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Kanye coming out in support of Trump. You've got Bill Cosby going to jail.
Yeah.
And one of a friend of mine put on Facebook. I'm going to pull it up.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine put on Facebook the other day, which I sent to you. Convicting black guys is like baby candy. Let's get Harvey Weinstein or Louis C.K. or somebody dream bigger.
Mm-hmm.
This is Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the biggest names in entertainment industry ever.
Yeah.
From the time that he was doing stand-up back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, to I Spy, to The Cosby Show, to Leonard Part 6, which he should have been convicted for because that movie was awful.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Dad, same story. But Bill Cosby is one of the biggest names in all of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, probably bigger than Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows Bill Cosby. Not everybody knows Louis C.K.
Mm-hmm.
Most people know Louis C.K. Harvey Weinstein, he's a piece of shit. Yes, 100%. But dream bigger? You don't get much bigger than Bill Cosby.
Exactly.
Yeah. And just saying it because he's a black guy, so it's like baby candy. No. He's Bill Cosby. OJ got off for murder.
Yeah.
100% got off for murder.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
This is not baby candy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not baby candy. And I'm not saying that I don't think Harvey Weinstein's guilty. I'm not going to say that. I do think that they are working on a case against him, but they have to wait for that case to be built. Yeah. This case started more than 10 years ago, and he's now getting convicted.
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein stuff just started coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Give that some time. Yep. Anyway, you got anything else?
No, I'm
good. All right. Well, that just about does it for us. Remember, you can find us online always and forever at muddiedwatersofreedom.com. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/muddiedwatersofreedom. You can find us on Twitter at muddied_waters. You can find us on Instagram at muddiedwatersofreedom, or you can find us on Minds or MeWe, both of which are great Facebook alternatives. You should check them out. I don't know how to find people on mine, so if you figure it out, please send me a message. But we're on both of those at Muddied Waters of Freedom, or just Muddied Waters of Freedom, not at. But look us up, find us everywhere, message us. We pretty much always respond.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, find us, let us know what you think. Tell us everything that you want to, because we're there to hear. Also, music this week is from my good friend Alden Rest from Nashville, Tennessee. You can find him on Instagram. He's working on everything else right now, and I believe his album should be coming out soon.
Nice.
Yes.
Last show?
Last shows.
Do it.
Do it.
Thank you for joining us, and remember, where we're going,
we don't need roads. Man, not a lot of viewers on that one. What's that? Why?
Said there were?
No.
Oh.
Man, I really don't want to go up to King of the Beach.
I don't have to.
Pray for you. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Why?
No.
Did you hit that girl back up?
Cool. Megan?
Sure.
Yeah. But I haven't planned anything yet.
30 seconds to end.
What you mean?